I haven't seen you for so long, that's why. So how you been anyway?
Good.
You all right?
Very good.
Yeah?
Life is amazing.
Okay.
No complaints over here.
No, there never is.
I don't know, like, I don't know. I've been through hell already, and I think that I'm on the other side of all of that. So just enjoying life.
Yes, and that's why I brought you on.
I know, I was so shocked when I got your message.
I'm pretty random, aren't I?
I'm so random.
I just pop up.
So random, hey?
Yeah,
You want to come onto my podcast?
I met Nick, through a guy that Daniel who got me on, and I just was here, and I was like, man, I want to be part of this, do this sort of journey.
Good.
And then, my main thought was to bring people who helped me through my journey, and you're one of those people.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did know that.
No.
I learned so much from you, all
Wow.
the spiritual stuff, So so you said you've been through a lot. You went through divorce, didn't you?
I did.
So how long ago was that?
15 years.
And you were a single mum.
Single mum, 2 kids, boy and a girl. Yeah, at the time they were 5 and 9.
Yeah, similar to my age, my kids.
Yeah. And I had just opened my studio. I'd literally opened my studio for 1 month and, found out that he was having an affair.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing was that I just knew that I had to end it. Like, I couldn't try to salvage the marriage. It was just, I just know who I am. And once the trust is gone, that's it. It's gone. And it was really tough being a single mom, 2 kids, not having any family support, opening up a studio and, trying to start a business. It was really hard.
And your studio's yoga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had that for 10 years, the studio. I'm now subcontracting out to other studios, expanding myself that way.
Yeah, that's good.
My reach, which is great, because my studio only had a capacity of, 35 people. And now I have a greater reach because I go to many different places and teach yoga.
Oh, really? So you're like outdoor sort of thing, yeah. What do you mean, like many places? Like
Yes, I go to gyms, other yoga studios and teach yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, you just can't tell us about this Uluru thing. I'm interested in that.
Oh, Uluru.
Yes,
so
the 8th and the 8th. What was that?
That was the Lionsgate portal. So 8th of the 8th is the most powerful day for manifestation. Yeah. Of the year. So my girlfriend had created a retreat, an adventure retreat in Uluru, and so we could be there on the 8th of the 8th, which is a very auspicious day because it's not only the most powerful day, but we had 888, which is this year is an 8 year, 2024. So if you add up all the numbers, it makes 8.
Okay.
So it means that it's a year of abundance.
Okay.
For many people. So, I said yes to going on the retreat with her because I needed some time for myself. And, of course, being spiritual, I just needed to be in the land. And
I think it's awesome.
And I think everyone should do it. I think everyone should go to Uluru at least once. It's a once of a lifetime experience. I never had a real desire to go there. Before, but when my girlfriend said that she was facilitating a retreat, I said, all right, I'm there for her, and for us to have this experience together. But I didn't realize how much the land and learning about the Indigenous people, the Aboriginals, would impact me.
Did you feel any energy over there?
Energy. I couldn't sleep.
Really?
The day that we walked around the base of Uluru, I did not sleep at all. I was so energized. And I feel like the energy is still, flowing through me. But, something that was really profound was connecting to the beauty that's in the simplicity of the land. The vastness. It's just this open space. But, these 2 monolithic sites, Uluru and Katajuta. And it was incredible just to see the sunrises, sunsets, all the beautiful colours, and feel the energy.
There's no one around, is there? That's why. There's no one
Oh,
around.
there's lots of tourists around, yeah.
Really? What else is there to Uluru?
Before we dive in, can I just get you close to the mic?
Oh, sorry.
Just so I know you're
It's
trying
like-
to
Yeah,
flow,
yeah,
and
good.
I just don't want to
No, that's
jump
good.
in when you're actually in there.
Oh, sorry.
Do you
It's
feel
just
like you're going to sit to the side more?
I still got to find my comfort too.
I know. I don't,
Seriously.
See, this thing just feels like it's in my face, and I'm just.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you feel like you're going to sit during? To the side?
To the side, I think I'm going to
Can you bring
be.
your chair this way a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually there, because I know by the time you swivel, you...
I should have worked this out already, shouldn't I? I just get into
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's
so like,
fine. Yeah, you want to stay in the line of voice in the mic.
Okay.
So that should be there. Should be good. Cool.
Ooh,
Big black thing in my face.
Yeah, baby. You look good,
sorry.
by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very sharp.
I think that the last time you see me, I had, my bright red hair.
Yeah, you had bright red hair.
Yeah.
You always change.
Normalizing myself, maturing myself. I think.
Yeah, but normalising, yeah, okay.
No, I can't be normal.
No, you won't be normal.
It's all
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Nicholas. You can don't have to cut that.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine,
think
dude.
I was trying to just like move away
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
microphone.
yeah.
Bit
Don't
intimidating.
come back.
I know.
And mine is it the head? What is it?
No, it's not
Is it
you. It's
light?
the
Is it too
big
bright?
black mic in my face.
Yeah, it is like that. You're used to it. Eh?
No, I'm not used to having a big black thing in my face. Sorry.
You know where I'm going to take that.
No, oh my goodness, why?
Yeah.
I can't help it. But anyway, where were we?
Yeah, we're Uluru.
Uluru.
Big rock,
Yeah, so I think everyone should do it once in a lifetime. There were some really amazing experiences that I had. One of the experiences was the drone show that they.
Drone show?
Yeah, the drone show. So it's in front of Uluru.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the backdrop, and 1,200 drones in the sky put on this show to tell one of the Aboriginal stories.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
The
using
sound
fairy
system
technology.
was amazing. Like, we're sitting on this beautiful deck
Mm.
and we've got our little picnic baskets, eating, and then this show begins, and the sound sounded like it was coming from everywhere, every direction.
That'd be
And I
pretty
was just like, where are the speakers? And, they're so good in incorporating all of these things into the land and camouflaging it so you don't see it.
Yeah.
So then the whole land lit up, all the trees, with these beautiful images, and then the drones took off and put on this beautiful show.
Drones. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Far out's technology now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just remember the tears, streaming down my face, because it was just one of those moments where you just filled with so much gratitude. So much gratitude.
That's where it is about gratitude, isn't it? That's one thing I've worked on.
Yeah, the key to abundance is gratitude.
Yeah.
Be grateful for what you have. And even when, I think that a lot of people move from a place of lack, scarcity, that they feel like they don't have enough. And unfortunately, I think it's happening more and more with social media. Everyone presenting all the flashy things.
Well, I had car problems this morning. This is what I was saying, it was a bad day. So I got an Uber, and you saying that. And the guy that took me to the car place, he's a Hindu, and he was going about his religion. And it's the same thing. Be grateful. Everything you believe in, religion, it is gratitude, isn't it?
We already have everything we need.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, right? So even when people are moving from that place of lack, even if they're in victimhood, some horrible things are happening in their lives, we can always stop and be grateful for something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we should be waking up each and every day.
Well,
Just be grateful the fact that you woke up.
Well, this driver was actually explaining to me as well about how he doesn't have Facebook and that. He said, and it's true, like people wake up and they go straight on Instagram or Facebook. He said your blood pressure rises, so you're already seeing other people's lives, advertisements, and you're just waking up to that. You're going to bed to that. Mm-hmm. That's why you shouldn't really sort of grab your phone first thing in the morning, should you? No. People do it though.
Practice gratitude.
Yeah,
Just
practice
stop
gratitude.
And, do some breathing and be grateful for your breath that gives you life. Be grateful for your body that does all the things. You know, so many people spend so much time complaining about their bodies and what their bodies can't do.
Well, you can always use that and be better. My body's stuffed.
I know.
Yeah.
And the thing, see, that's
my nerve damage, but I'm grateful for it in a weird way. Do you know what I mean? It makes me focus on that pain.
Well, I think that if someone has a physical kind of ailment, it's like, do something about it.
Yeah. Don't just sit around and whinge.
And unfortunately, a lot of people are in that space, right? Of victimhood and
Oh, geez, yeah.
complaining.
Complaining. And it's, for you to get that, you have to go through a bit to actually sort of see that as well.
To be grateful.
Well, yeah, I think your bubbles need to burst sometimes, you know, like divorce, being a single mum. You know, that probably led you on the path. Would you have been to this path if you were married still?
Probably. Oh, actually, I think I would have, but I think that it would have definitely been a lot slower. It was the catalyst, you know, to my transformation and my change in my life. It rocked my world. My world crumbled. Everything that I knew about my life, my friends, like we had the same circle of friends from, you know, when we were kids, you know, teenagers, and that all went. When that marriage ended, I ended everything, my friendships, because I chose not to continue to be caught up in the past. You know, this was my fresh start, and even though it was really difficult, it was hard, but that was the choice that I made. Just going, no, I'm going to start again. And that's where I was grateful that I had my business, because I opened the doors to a new beginning, and that was to a new life, to welcome people in that were coming to me to learn yoga. But then I made so many beautiful friendships.
Yeah. And look where you're taking you, Uluru.
Through that.
Doing your own thing. Where else have you gone? Well, you gone. We got to talk about ayahuasca.
Oh, what do you want to know?
Hey, where'd you go for that? Where was it?
I can't disclose
you can't.
that.
Oh, you can't disclose that.
I can't disclose that information.
Damn, I still gotta get it off you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a good.
So I had obviously yoga opened that door for me, and it was introduced to me from a friend who had gone to Peru, and she had done plant medicine. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she had heard about the shaman over there, and she went over there for only 2 months, I think. And she came back and she was a different person.
Really?
She still had the cancer, but she was different. Anyway, she's trying to convince me, you know, if you got to do it, you got to do it. And it probably took me 2 years to come around to it. It wasn't something that as soon as I heard her story, even though I seen the change in her, positive change, it wasn't something that I went, oh yeah, I've got to do it. There was a bit of resistance to it.
Yeah.
And they say that the mother ayahuasca calls you. There's a calling for it. And so 2 years after my girlfriend had told me about it, then I started to get the calling. You know, this curiosity had awakened in me, and I was like, I need to know everything about this. And so, you know, I was going on, you know, the internet and reading as much as I could, watching all the YouTube stuff. And I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to take that journey. And it was very profound. You know, I've sat many times. Some people can have profound experience, life-changing experiences just from one sit. I feel like I had a lot of trauma and a lot of pain to kind of process, and that's why I sat with the medicine many times. And it was just before the lockdown that I sat for the last time. And that was my most profound.
Just before the lockdown too.
Profound experience. And it really changed me and healed something deep, a deep core wounding that I was carrying around. And yeah, I'm so grateful for the medicine. And I think that, you know, everyone should do it. We would, you know, be living in a much better world if everyone did it. But it isn't for everyone.
Yeah, because people don't come out of it sometimes, you hear. Because some people come back a bit funny, you know. That's DMT, actually.
Yeah. And that's a different experience altogether. People, you know, smoking DMT to taking ayahuasca.
Yeah, ayahuasca is the one where you're vomiting, aren't you? Everywhere.
Yeah. And if you take DMT, it's only a short period of time. Yeah. Whereas ayahuasca is a whole journey. You know?
And you're directed by a shaman. And they hang with you.
The space is held by the shaman. It's done in pitch black room. You drink the medicine and then you wait.
And you hang there for days? Is it like a
week? No, it's not days. No? So usually, like, the ones that I've gone to is a weekend. So you sit the Friday and Saturday, come back on the Sunday. But that experience, sitting in darkness and then not knowing what's going to happen. And I've sat many times, and it's you have no idea what is going to present itself in that time. And then you start to hear the purging. And people can purge many ways, you know. It's yawning, crying, screaming, laughing. Yeah. I've sat with people that just get up and dance.
Really? Just got to get it out of the system.
And, you know, there's so many ways to kind of release stuff.
A lot of people doing stuff like this now. I think with this world thing going on, people are turning that way.
But it's the awareness, you know. We live in the information age, you know. Everything's accessible at our fingertips to be able to find these things. Yeah. Which I think is great.
It is good. You know. Well, look at the young
tools for healing.
Yeah. Well, but how old do you reckon you should be able to do that? Because like you got to sort of you can't offer it to young people, could you? Really?
No. Not, traditionally in South America, they give children.
Really?
Yeah.
Ayahuasca?
Yeah, ayahuasca. I sat with a woman, she was pregnant.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. That wouldn't happen here, would it?
And I had a shaman that actually gave her dogs.
Really? I need to give my dog some too. And a nacho.
You gotta... Is he still around?
Yeah, Taco's gone.
Oh, Taco's gone.
Nacho's gone. Nacho's still here.
Yeah.
But he's got anxiety issues. Pets.
Yeah, my beautiful girl passed in November.
That's right. The husky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was the greatest heartache that I've ever experienced in my life.
Really?
Yeah, so painful. Losing an animal. You know why? Because dogs, they love you unconditionally. And I think that having that experience of unconditional love, people say that they love unconditionally. I don't believe it.
Nah, not like a dog.
It's always with conditions.
Yeah.
Always with conditions. Parents are renowned for saying that they love their children unconditionally. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm going to call it for what I think that it is, and I think that it's not true.
No, it's not. You're right. Actually.
It's not. I mean, if we're honest. And the thing is, I think that a lot of people feel that they're going to be judged as being a bad parent if I admit that.
Yeah.
That I don't love my children unconditionally.
Yeah.
Or even the fact that you love your children different.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't love them the same.
Oh, look, yeah. I go through that, yeah. Not with mine, but as a sibling, you know, you do. You see it. You know? You do see it. Yeah. And it doesn't, if you accept it, it doesn't get to you. You just got to accept it. We're all different, right?
I think it's about, as I said, there's so many people are living their lives just worrying about what other people are thinking about them, other people's judgments.
The control of it was just the, like you're like you wouldn't intimidate women. You're free.
I actually don't intimidate women. I actually inspire women.
Oh, that's okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I inspire women. It's funny. I was looking at my followings, right? My people who follow is women.
Yeah.
People that show up in yoga classes, they're all women, and they if you just look at me. Maybe they're going to be intimidated by me, but if you get to know me, it's just like...
This is the judgment.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You're right. You are inspiration. That's why you're here.
Thank you.
Because, you know, you are a strong woman. Very strong. And I like that.
Yeah, but I had to go to the depths of hell.
This is it. You did. Yeah.
To get to this place in my life, you know, and I know who I am and I live my life as authentically as I can. And I only want to inspire others to do exactly the same.
But yeah, that's good.
You know, as funny, when I was healing a lot of my wounding, I shared a lot of my story. Right?
That's
because
that's
the process, right?
That's all part
it's
of it.
Sharing, connecting to people. And as I healed certain parts of myself, I realized that I stopped sharing the story. because there was no need to. There's no need, because now it's just the past. It's just something that happened. I don't need to go back and revisit it time and time again and talk about it. And then my students actually said to me, Vivienne, you don't share your stories anymore. And I'm like, oh, wow.
You've moved on.
I have, but I've moved to a better place where I don't have this deep wounding anymore in my life. I'm actually living a happier life, the way that I want it to be. So I'm sorry, I don't have any painful stories to tell
People
you.
like painful stories.
But in saying that, it doesn't mean that if you're on this path of healing ourselves, that we don't go through bad things. Because of that, I lost my dog. I lost my dog.
Always going to be new things.
Last year, and as I said, it was the greatest heartache of my life. She died in my arms at home, which was probably the best outcome.
How old was she?
13.
Yeah.
13, and I'd made the decision the night before that I was going to take her to the vet and put her down, and we didn't get there. She kind of collapsed in the morning, and I went and kind of like picked her up. Within 5 minutes of telling her how much I loved her and to let her go, she just passed. And I think isn't that how we all want to go?
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
We want to go in our sleep. We want to go surrounded by our loved ones, telling us that, they love us. And
yeah. Where do you think we go, Vivienne? This is where I get deeper.
Good question. I don't have the answer for that. But what I do know from this is my own personal experience through deep meditation practices, I know that we're energy and infinite. And what happens with our energy, I don't know. I mean, I do kind of move towards reincarnation, believing that,
Buddhism?
we come back.
I thought about that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few times.
And I think that just through life experiences and connections that you make with people, the people that you meet, that you feel like,
You've been there
wow,
yourself,
how do I know you? I feel like our souls know each other. And that's a feeling. That's an experience that you have within yourself.
Yeah.
And no one can take,
too.
and no one can take that away from you.
Yeah, and they know it.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
So it's like, I don't have the answers. I don't know what happens after we die. The physical body goes. I was just having a conversation with someone the other day just about aging. And so I feel like I'm still, let's say 25.
Yeah. Yes.
25 energetically,
yeah,
right?
I'm 28.
Okay. Energetically, but the physical body is aging.
Yeah.
Right? But when I look in the mirror, it's like, if I look beyond the wrinkles and all of that, right? The sagging
Wrinkles?
skin.
What wrinkles? What are you talking about? You see wrinkles, Nick?
Right? That I see beyond the physical. And if my soul had an age, I think maybe 25. Yeah. Just to think about how vibrant and energetic.
Yeah.
I was at 25 and I still am.
Yeah, but did you go back to that?
That hasn't died down.
No, it hasn't changed. You're like 21 sometime. Did you go back to that age? Like, so how old were you when you got divorced or separated?
32, 34.
Did you go back? Like, when you trying to find yourself, you sort of go back. I went back. I was like, I'm going back to 20, the way I was at 20.
No.
No?
No, I was catapulted forward.
You would have went forward.
I had the huge glow up when my marriage ended. Like, who I was, everything about me, like, died.
Yeah.
It died, and
straight away. You had to trim it off.
No, within a couple of years.
Yeah, it takes a while.
I mean, I had long hair and that, and I chopped my hair, and then when I chopped my hair,
you went red.
Yeah, everything changed. I've been every colour.
Yeah.
many colours. And it's funny, I just put up a post, my stories the other day, going through the chakra system. So in the yogic philosophy, it's the energetic system within the body, and they have certain colours associated with them. And I just put up a post that I went through every single colour. Through that system.
Without knowing.
It was unconscious, but then I became conscious of it. And I'm just like, geez, I've been through all of the chakras.
Yeah.
And through my hair.
The chakras are that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, starting at the root to the crown. And there's 7 main chakras, but there's many more chakras, and they all hold certain information.
Yeah.
So when I was in Uluru, I was deeply connected to my root chakra, which was bringing me back to the earth. Mm-hmm. It's connected to the earth element, and that's why I had this profound connection to the land. Even coming back, you know, I'm just like, I just want to be in nature. Mm-hmm. Looking at the trees and driving tonight, looking at the moon, and
it would have driven you crazy to come back.
What's that?
If you go away, I always go a bit crazy when I come back into the rat race again.
I was so grounded, and that's what the root chakra does, right? It's your foundation. It gives you a sense of stability and groundedness. So I've come back kind of unbothered.
Yeah, good.
Unbothered by anything, and even like my first class that I taught, it's held on a beautiful property, and it was raining, right? It was raining, and I thought the weather was so beautiful in Uluru. People come back from a holiday like that and they just start complaining. Oh, it's freaking raining. And I was just like looking at it going, wow, it is so beautiful. Nature is beautiful. Whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, storms, you know, the lightning and, you know, the thunder can be a little scary at times, but watching the sky light up with that lightning, as long as you're in a safe place.
And away from copper.
We don't want to get
away from copper.
Struck by lightning.
Yeah. Attacks
but there's beauty in everything.
There is.
You know, and it all is dependent on your perspective.
Yeah.
Because we could be looking at the same thing. And you could see something and turn around and say, oh, you complain about my lipstick being on my glass right here.
Oh, yeah, there is too. Yeah.
And I'm looking at the water going, wow, water's so amazing. It hydrates us and, you know.
Yeah, but seeing the beauty is also towards people as well.
Absolutely. But if you have that perception of something so, I don't know, who's looking at the glass of water going, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Not many people would ever do that. They're just like, you're a freaking idiot. Right? Well, but if you can have the capacity to do that, well, then you can have the capacity to see the beauty in absolutely everything, and especially people.
Yeah, that's the main thing. A lot of people don't. I like to see the beauty in people straight away. Give them a chance. Everyone's got that.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, all right, so you say give them a chance. But what about even in their darkness? You know, can you have compassion, you know, towards someone? So if someone's being a freaking asshole, instead of judging and straight away going, you're an asshole, how about...
I see why they're an asshole.
Why?
That's how I always see it. I look at everything like that.
Yeah. Why are they like that?
Yeah.
Why are they projecting their stuff out onto people? You know, in those moments, people react, right? And they usually react in a negative way. What if we responded in a more positive and loving and kind way? Because anyone that's projecting any kind of negativity or hurt onto somebody else, and that's saying hurt people, those people need love.
Yeah, that's right.
They need more love and compassion in that 100%. Time.
Yep.
You know, when they're being assholes, go give them a hug.
You know? That's what they probably
hug
need.
Them, exactly.
That's all they need.
You know,
it's like goodwill hunting. You know, it's not your fault. You know. Yeah, I 100%.
Give them a hug, and you know there might be some resistance, and they might try to, you know, worm their way out of your arms, squeeze them even more.
Yeah. That's the
you
best
know,
way.
I mean, there's science to prove, you know, how powerful hugs are. You know, a good 60-second hug.
Yeah.
You know how it can.
Because people don't get that. Some people don't get that. That's all they want, and they hold on to stuff like judgment, you know, resentment, all that sort of stuff too. You know, and they take it out on the next person. That upsets them.
Well, see, this is why yoga was so profound for me. Learning to let go. Learning the process of letting go. Detachment.
What's that? How did that work through yoga?
Because when we step onto the mat, it's just you, right? You're being guided by a teacher. In everyday life, when things happen to us and we get reactive and we're pointing the finger and blaming, you made me feel like this, right? We're quick to put it out externally and never take any responsibility or accountability for the way that we feel. But when you're on your mat, who are you going to blame? When I'm making you uncomfortable through the asana practice, I'm squeezing you, I'm putting you under pressure. you know, when we're going into all these, you know, crazy shapes,
Yeah.
then things start to arise up.
Yeah.
The negative thoughts are going to come up. The emotions are going to come up. So students can, within themselves, maybe blame me and hate on me. Don't worry, I get death stares all the time in class.
Really?
But I don't take it personal, because my job is to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's my job description. Make people uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Make people uncomfortable, but at the same time, you know, I'm creating a safe space for them. I'm teaching them to breathe, to regulate, to self-regulate, regulate their own nervous system through breathing, and to watch themselves, to watch what's coming up to the surface. And then if they let go and use the breath as that tool to help release, whatever comes up passes. Nothing's permanent. Nothing is permanent. It's only our attachment. Yeah, when we're holding on, we're grasping, right? That problem that you have, when someone says, well, just let it go. It's just like, but you don't understand what I'm going through. See the attachment, they're grasping and gripping even more. And it's like, just let it go. How is it serving you?
Yeah.
If there's something in your life that you don't like, change it. Or just find the courage and strength to accept whatever it is that you can't change.
People struggle, don't they?
Yeah, and it's a process. And it, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. And this is the power of yoga. When people commit themselves to the practice, they're committing to themselves, to showing up for themselves time and time again, and working through that process. Being reminded, they've got to be reminded, because you're going to easily forget and react, you know. But my job is to try to keep people in a space, again, number one, that's safe. It's non-judgmental, you know, and when people feel safe, people can heal and people can let go. You know, emotions come up in a yoga class. And one of the saddest things that I hear from students is when an emotion's trying to come up to be healed and released. At the end, how you going? They're like, oh, I wanted to cry. And I'm like, why didn't you? Why didn't you, right? It's that shoving down because they're worried about how other people are going to see them and judge them for crying in a class. And I'm just like, this is a safe space. This is a non-judgmental space, right? Let go. You're the only one blocking yourself. You're the only one standing in your own way of your healing, right? Because you're too busy being concerned about what other people think about you. What about what you think about yourself? You know, like, people don't stop and think that. You're worried about somebody else's judgment and opinion of you. How do you think about yourself? Because I'm telling you what, you would say the worst things to yourself more than, you know, some random person or stranger.
Yeah.
You're your own harsh critic.
Yeah. Well, that's how I got past it. Started hanging with myself. And I didn't mind. And once you get that, you can give it to the rest of the world. It isn't it? Man, I wish everyone could just do yoga. I got injured, actually. I couldn't do weights for for a while. So 2 weeks of yoga every morning. I'll tell you what, it's a good way to start the day.
Sets the tone.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Physically, mentally.
Yeah. Just that calmness. And like you said, putting yourself in those stands. Like, it's tough. Guys don't like doing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, more guys are doing it now, which
is
great.
Yeah, it is good. And it's getting big.
And fun fact, that yoga was created by men, for men.
Really?
It's a 5,000-year-old practice.
Really?
Yep.
What was it created for men back then?
Back then. So the forefathers of yoga were all men.
Oh.
Yeah. And for a long time, only men could do yoga.
And where did it come from?
India.
But he's Indian.
So it's interesting how now, 5,000 years later, like, it is dominated by women.
Yeah. It's changed a bit, hasn't it?
So it's like,
You gotta lift weights for a man. Pilates is good too. You do Pilates as well.
Yeah, reformer Pilates.
Is it on the machine?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think that it hits different.
Yeah, more
which is
strength.
Amazing, having the resistance. But yeah, both practices, amazing mind-body connection. And that's what we want. I mean, look, any form of exercise, is great for us, if we're just taking care of our physical body. Because if you take care of your body's going to take care of you.
Yeah. Do your kids do yoga?
No, but funnily enough, they did.
You tried to get them into it?
When they were younger, they did. They did do a lot of yoga. And, you know, the kids are now adults and they're not kids anymore.
Yeah, it's just their
I've got
choice.
a, 28-year-old son and a 21-year-old daughter. Yeah. But we just celebrated her birthday not long ago, and she did yoga with me on her birthday. I was just like, do you want...
What a lovely birthday present
I took her to Melbourne. I'm like, hey, there's this event on.
Yeah.
It's on your birthday. I go, do you want to come? She's like,
that's
yeah,
cool.
I'll go.
Yeah, that's
I was just going to say, well, if you don't want to come, you can just stay here. I'm going.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I haven't seen her practice yoga since she was a kid. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, you still got it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
My mum's become a yogi. Yeah, she's going to India again.
India?
Yeah.
Is she?
She went there a year ago, 2 years ago.
Wow.
To finish off, she became a teacher now.
Oh, she became a teacher.
Yeah,
I knew
68.
it.
Good on her.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool.
See, it's never too late.
I haven't done one of her classes yet.
And a lot of people do a yoga teacher training not to actually become a teacher, to go out and teach. It's actually for the philosophy.
Yeah, and then she's just doing classes.
Yeah, it's to better themselves, to deepen their experience with themselves.
That's a bit like podcasting, isn't it, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, it is. It's very similar. It's just taking that path of I guess, part of healing or growing. Well, it's the same, you're going to head down that path too.
I am. So, Tanya and I did our
I'll give you the details later on for you, okay? She's in the place.
Tanya and I just did our first podcast in Uluru on the last day, which was great. But talking about this podcasting.
Sorry, the mic. Just remember the mic, okay? You keep it testing.
It's like
you're drifting over here. Hey, let's go over here. If it's much more comfortable.
Creeping away from it. So there was a huge story that I had in my life that limited me for a very long time, and that was my voice.
Yeah.
So when I was about 16, I actually stopped talking for about 6 months. That's how traumatic the voice.
You just didn't want to talk? What was going through your head then?
Well, there was a lot of trauma that I had already experienced. And this may sound crazy, but I had 2 experiences over the phone where the person on the other end thought that I was a guy.
Thought you were a guy?
Yeah. Right? But that pushed me over there. I was already full. I was full of trauma already. Mm-hmm. And these 2 experiences that I had, they thought that I was a guy. They thought they were talking to a man, and then it just pushed me over the edge. And I went,
Who were they? Or they just
people, whoever.
Really? And they just pushed you over the edge?
Pushed me over the edge, and I was like, screw that, I'm not talking anymore. Yeah. Wow. So I had this huge story about the sound of my voice, just speaking in general.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so there's been this journey of me finding my voice and, learning.
You got it now.
Hey,
you've got it now.
Learning to love my voice. A lot of people, they might, if they're ever in a situation where they have to record themselves and then listen to it back, everyone goes through the cringe phase.
Just like stuff. Hey, still hasn't gone up.
Now we got video and talking as well. So we go through this thing, right, where we kind of cringe hearing ourselves speak. It's been quite the journey, kind of letting go of that story. And definitely yoga teaching helped me on that journey to be able to get up in front of people and start speaking.
You've killed a lot of birds of that stone, haven't you? Like yoga. You get so much from it.
That's why I'm so passionate about it.
You've got so much.
22 years teaching, and I'm still as passionate about it.
You're still going.
It changed my life, Dan. It changed my whole world. I lived a life of such darkness, up until I started yoga at 27. And then obviously I had my marriage ending. So that was the dark half of my life. And then
16 and 30 something. So,
yoga, it did. The teachings of it. I mean, there are so many pathways to healing. But for me, yoga was
found it. You know when it's there.
Yeah.
You feel it. And you go, I feel right taking this path.
Yeah, like I had sought other treatments, like seeing a psychologist and to talk it out, which is great. Hey, that serves a lot of people, and we can't, even though it's not my means of healing, but it is for many people.
You grow past that too. There's more to that. Like you said, getting to love yourself, doing yoga.
Yeah, but a lot of people, a lot of people would never do yoga because for whatever reasons they have this judgment, like it's all woo-woo stuff and they're not into the spirituality, and that's great.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I just wish for everyone to find something that is resonant for them.
Takes them away from those judgments.
Well, just to make themselves a better person, let's just do that.
Yeah, to make
wake
a better
up every
person.
day. Wake up every day and say, how can I be better?
Yeah, and you have to go through that. So we're for 6 months. How'd you communicate? Did you get a notebook or chalkboard?
I did.
Did you do sign language? What did you do? Italian salute?
I actually had a notebook.
Really?
Yeah.
And your parents?
So you don't know this. So I actually was homeless from 14 to 17 and lived on the streets. I know. And I was just like, this conversation, like, Dan doesn't even know.
There's so much. I've known you for like 4 years or something.
I know. And that's what I said to you. Like, you only know a smidgen of my life. And it's like, there's a big story.
Homeless for that long.
Yeah. I came from a very violent household. Violent. I was sexually abused by my stepfather from the age of 5 to 13 before I, ran away from home. My mother was very violent. Gosh. And so I took my chances out on the streets because it got to the point in my life where this is life or death. If I stay here, I'm going to die. And my intuition, and we can talk about intuition. I love intuition.
Yeah, me too.
There was something in my gut that said, go. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do, but it was just like, it said, go. And I trusted in that at 14 years of age.
That's my daughter's age, man.
Yep. Yeah, it was really hard for me when I, raised my kids and they reached that age because I looked at them and I was just like,
God.
God.
Did that come back, that trauma? When your kids reach that age, do you start to... Because that does happen, doesn't it?
It didn't... It was just viewing them as a parent, and I never could grasp how my mum allowed that, to happen, to leave me out on the streets and never want to come look for me or find me.
She never searched?
No, she didn't want to.
Jeez.
We
found you. We found you here. That's sad.
Yeah, but
But hey, that's made you who you are today.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
All of the experiences.
This sort of stuff.
And it's funny, I would never, as crazy of all that trauma and those experiences I had, if I had to do it over again, I don't think I would change anything. Because I am proud of who I am as a person, and what I've gone through has shaped me and helped me become who I am. We can either choose to be the victim of our lives, or we can be our own hero, heroine 100%. In our lives. And that's what I chose to do. I had this fighter spirit in me, to risk everything and go and live on the streets, risk so many things just because my intuition, something inside of me has kept telling me there's something more. There's something more. I don't know what it is.
And you're still searching.
I don't know if I'm searching.
Well, you're growing. Sorry, there's still more.
Yeah, I'm not a seeker. I just choose every day. Power of choice, right? Choose every day to try to be better. How can I be more loving? How can I be kinder? And look at the areas within my own life that if there's something that's not making me happy, again, change it. Do something about it. Let something go, whether that, be a partner, a friendship, a family member. I just had my sister, my youngest sister, come with her family and come and live with me, right? They needed a place to stay, and I hadn't seen her for how many years. And, she rocked up out of the blue and said, you know, can we come and stay here? We need somewhere to stay. I'm not going to put them out on the streets. So I opened my home to them. They stayed for 10 months, and, you know, there were some challenges during that period, but, you know, I accepted her for where she's at within her life, and there's 10 years difference between us. But when they left, they kind of did a shitty thing to me, right?
Oh, no. You even get saucy.
But you know
what?
what?
Like you helped them out for 10
Yeah,
months?
I did. I helped them
What
out.
did
So
they do?
they racked up my bills and then, you know, like left me with the bills to pay, right? So, yeah, I wasn't...
That's the bite the hand that feeds it.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about it. But in saying that, it was just like, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I said, this is your share of the bills. You don't want to pay it? I'll pay it. That's fine. But that's on you. You know, like that's on you as a person. That's what you do to someone. You know what I mean? Like I could get there and argue and fight and say, you owe me this money, but that energy that I'm going to be putting out, what for?
All that hard work undone.
Yeah, I'm just going to take it. That's right. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. And I go, you deal with your own karmic.
Yeah,
you know,
that's on you. That's so
your
true.
own karma, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything because unfortunately, if people are going to behave like that, it's got nothing to do with me. That's why we should never take anything personally.
100%.
Yeah, never
That's a
take
stoic
anything.
thing, that one.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I love that. Don't take anything personally. It's so true. You sit back and when you do it, every time, you don't react.
Yep.
You sit back, analyse it. All right, so you let them in and that, and then they did this on you. Do you still speak to her?
Nope.
Oh.
And so there you go. That's a choice, right?
Yeah.
So her choice to not do the right thing and pay her part then led me to make my decision. Well, I opened my home to you, you know, and now this is how you treat me. And I was just like, well, I don't need people like that in my life. Yeah. And sometimes the hardest people to let go of is your family.
Of course.
But I learned that a long time ago, right? A long time ago with my family.
Did she come with you? Like when you left home?
When she left home.
Oh, she left home before you?
She was only 4 years old. There's 10 years difference. Yeah. But every single one of my siblings, when they left home, they came and found me and lived with me.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. I was the eldest. I was the big sister. I was the mother, second mother to them growing up.
Gosh, so much responsibility.
And there was, you know, I mean, I had my son at 19. Yeah. So it was just like, I was still a child myself. I look at my daughter, she's 21, and just like, please don't have children.
Don't you want grandkids?
Live your life. I do.
You'd be a cool grandmother.
I have a
young grandmother.
I have a grandson. They call it.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. He's 1 year old now, and yeah.
Nice.
So going from MILF to GILF.
Yeah, I was going to say you're a GILF now.
I never heard of this term.
Oh,
right?
I think it's...
And it was a young girl I know. She's probably like 28 or something like that. And I told her, you know, my son had a child. And she's just like, you're a GILF. And I'm just like, what is it? What is a GILF? I had no idea.
Own it.
And I was like, okay, yeah, all right. I'll take it. Whatever.
And how's your son anyway? Is he working? How old is he? 28.
28. Oh, we're going to go down this road.
No,
I mean, you're asking and... I'm just, you know, it's a different headspace, the generation. So, my son, I think that... All right, so I'm not talking to my son currently. And, well, he's not talking to me, I should say. He entered a relationship, and... It's funny how you see patterns repeat itself, because what my son's doing to me is what my brother did to my mum. Yeah. And he got involved with a woman. He didn't speak to my mum for 20 years, and my brother. 20 years. And when the relationship ended, he went back to her. Oh. And so, I just have to let things run its course now, you know. Yeah, very similar. Very similar, very heartbreaking. And what that experience did for me was it triggered again, the deepest core wounding within me, and that is shame. And it's in everyone, right? Our deepest core wounding will be shame. Shame is the lowest kind of like vibrational energy that the body holds, and it's deep down, deep down. You got shame, and then you got guilt. And him not talking to me triggered that.
Yeah.
Triggered so much shame. I went back and I assessed my whole parenting, everything, going, what did I do? What did I do wrong for him not to talk? Because we were so close. We were so close. My son was my saving grace in life. You know, I had him at 19. You know, he's the reason why I didn't kill myself, you know, that I chose to stay alive for him. And and so it was very devastating, him making that choice for himself.
He'll be back.
Oh no, I trust that, you know. I know that he loves me, you know, and unfortunately, you know, certain relationships will, you know, have this effect on people. I mean, I've seen it many times. And it's unfortunate that it had happened to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, like...
You know, because I've strived so hard to do the work, to better myself, and then it's just like...
And you meet someone and they bring it out.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's that same feeling.
But can I share something, a realization that I had just in regards to that situation with my son? So when I was a single mum, you know, coming from living on the streets, I'm literally in survival mode. And I was a doer. I had to go and work, to provide for myself and do all the things. That put me in my masculine energy. Yeah. And I lived there for a long time being in my masculine, right? I attracted men who were in their feminine, who sat back, didn't freaking work, didn't do anything. So therefore I'm continuing this, I'm continuing this role of, you know, I was a mother to my siblings, you know, out in the street. Then I had to, you know, fend for myself, literally become a street fighter. You know? I had to, but I had to. I went from this innocent girl to being this savage on the streets because it was like, I needed to put on a front to scare people. You know, animals in the animal world do it, right? They make themselves big and scary, and I had to do that for myself because there were so many predators around, right? Trying to take advantage of a freaking 14-year-old girl who has no family, no one on the streets, you know, and me toughening up like that, you know, and having to fight and do whatever it is that I had to do to survive. And so then I had my son at 19, and then I think because I was very unconscious of all this. This is like looking back, and I understand everything now, and I understand my state. But at the time, I didn't. My son was my saving grace, and I didn't realize how much pressure I kind of put on him to be this rock for me, like his whole life. I didn't realize it. So I created a son who was in his feminine. Yeah, because his mum was big and tough and, you know.
So he's going to look for someone.
Scary at times,
He needs a masculine woman then.
And that's right.
And so when he finds a masculine woman, she probably tears him apart.
And it's funny. I mean, you know, like, I was in my masculine. My mum was in her masculine, you know. My mum was a narcissist, you know. This woman's showing, you know, some of those tendencies.
But this is it comes through. This is the childhood trauma, you know. And
so he's become submissive. You know, he's fallen in love, and you know whatever she says goes. Yeah. You know, and that includes not talking to your mother and your sister. You know, because narcissists do that, right? They pull you away from your family, all to themselves, and you know, I went through this phase, you know, where I was like so angry. I was angry at her. I wanted to, you know, confront her, but then I was just like, no, I don't want to be that person. Yeah. I don't want to be in a situation where maybe, something's triggered within me, where something, a part of me, you know, that ugly part of myself rears its ugly head, and I just choose not to be that person, you know, or put myself in a situation where I may, I may be triggered.
Yeah, because that happens. So you need like a feminine masculine guy.
I do.
I know you do.
I know. I know they're hard to find, man.
Yeah, they are very scarce. Yeah.
Very
Well, you
hard
want the
to
old
find.
school, a bit of a mix. You got to have that masculine side to take control and
Yeah,
and
I
relax
want to
your
surrender. I
feminine
want to
side.
be in my feminine,
Yeah.
I want someone to come and take charge. And,
Yeah.
look, I'm trying to do the work, even though I don't have, a partner, someone in my life, because really, you got to bring something to the table. If you're not bringing something to the table that's going to make my life better, and I'm not talking about materialistic things. I don't give a shit about your money or your cars or any material possessions. When I say value, for me, it's inspiration. I want a man to inspire me. When I'm looking at him and his life and he's doing all the things, and I'm just like, yeah,
You need a man with a purpose,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
He wants to, change himself for the better and change the world.
Yeah. And so, like, saying that, to go back to your son, like, for his age, like, he needs to find his purpose, right? Has he got a purpose?
He has been very well driven, and I think he's been driven. He started investing at 18. So he's made his money buying property. He
he's done well
started
then.
a company. Yeah.
That's excellent.
He has done amazing things, and I'm very proud of him, for that. But a lot of that was driven from seeing me struggle.
Yes.
That was the force, him seeing me struggle, just going, I'm never going to be without.
Yeah. I've seen that in a few of my friends, actually. I've got a friend that was like that. Yeah. So similar upbringing. Really done well, but still carries a lot of trauma.
Yeah. And my son's,
a lot of it comes out.
he's an avoidant, right? He's an avoidant, and he will run away instead of
Dealing with that emotional.
dealing with it. And unfortunately, I think so the last time I seen him, he told me that his partner was jealous of me. And he said, he goes, she's my number one now.
Ooh.
And the thing was, it's just like, and it was beautiful, the fact that he's at the same time saying that I was his number one for a long time, being his mum. But
These are where you got to cut.
it was just like, I never wanted to interfere with my children's life. They get to a certain age, and it's just like, live your life. You're going to have to make the choices for yourself. I'm not going to interfere. I'll give advice, where I feel it's necessary. But other than that, you're going to have to go and have your own experiences in life. They're their own persons,
And you
right?
got to let go of that too,
Yeah. So when he said, you're not my number one anyway, she's my number one. I was just like,
was that an argument?
no.
Just they had a conversation.
Yeah, this is
Hi, Mum, you're not my number one anymore.
Yeah. This was a conversation, and and he told me that she was jealous of me, and I was just like, wow, you know what she was jealous of? I contemplated this, right? I don't really know what the no. It's got nothing to do with that, right? It's just that my son loves me so much that he'll do anything for me.
Yeah.
That's what she's jealous of.
Yeah.
She wants him all to herself.
That's normal.
Yeah, it happens a lot. It's not the first time I've seen it. In other relationships.
Yeah. Hopefully they can turn around.
And I've seen it in my own relationships. Where the man, the mum's trying to contact is just like not answering. The phone calls. It's just like. But I was always the woman that pushed. My partners, hey, ring your mum, man.
Yes.
I think that I had because I didn't have my mum.
Yeah.
I didn't have that relationship. It's just like, man, that's your mum. She's trying to call you and contact. Freaking call her. Yeah. Answer the bloody goddamn phone.
Where was it? Maybe it was your podcast or something. I don't know. I heard it somewhere about your phone. I think it was. When your parents do call, sometimes you do push it away. Just out here, Mum called me 5 minutes. I got to go, Mum, but I still answered.
Good.
Yeah, I had that. I think it was from one of your podcasts, Nicholas. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, it's true because you push it away, and then it could be important, right?
Of course.
And then when they're not here,
yep,
you'll be waiting for the phone call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that with my son's situation, that he, because he's an avoidant, and as time goes by, the longer that we don't, it's just harder to come back from.
Mm.
Because he's got the guilt.
Well,
he's going to have to sit with his own guilt.
His own castle too, you know.
Yeah, and as I said, I don't think this has anything to do with the lack of love.
No.
You know,
just keep the door open. Just keep the door open.
Absolutely. That's all I can do. You know, when he calls or comes around, I'm just going to be there. You know, because that's who I am. He's my son. You know, and I love him, and I just want the best for him. And yeah, it's just sad that I don't get to.
That's all right. You're still doing your thing.
Yeah, but I miss out on my grandson at the same time. And this is time that I'll never get back, you know. That's why it's so important, you know, as parents, being present with our kids when they're young.
100%.
Because once they become an adult, that's it. You never get that ever back.
I take every moment I take.
No, you're a good dad.
Yeah, I have to. They're growing up so quick.
Yep.
Yeah, very quick. And before you get used to the way you're going, okay, I'm there's just the next stage. You know, they're little adults now.
Well, then you have to let go, right?
Yeah, and I am. I am.
It's a process of letting go, right?
Yeah, you know, and you do. You start to let go, and you know, you sort of lose them at 5. I left my, you know, I think I've explained this before. You know, parents, a normal family, which they call it. You know, the kids leave and
normal, healthy,
you know, white picket fence, all that sort of stuff. You know,
so I'm just like, what's normal? Right?
Yeah. What is normal now? Is similar to you know, a lot of divorces. But yeah, when kids leave, like when you don't have them for a certain percentage of time when they're 5 and 7, it's like you got to go through that at a young age before. So when they go get their car or they get a job, I'm happy for them. Go, you know, I've already passed that stage. You let go.
You have to let go.
You know.
And this is what I was saying about yoga teaching me the process of letting go, where I can see it in life. Yeah, that the letting go process, you know, as parents, you know, the kids are growing and they're changing. And so there's certain aspects of them that you have to, you know, you can't treat a 13-year-old like they're 5 still.
Yeah.
because they're totally different. Yeah. They're totally different. So you have to let go, you know. And I think dads are renowned, you know, I have a girl, right? You baby them still, you know, like my ex-husband did that to my daughter, right? Yeah. And she's just like, hey, I'm freaking 18, you know, stop treating me like I'm freaking 2, you know, and the frustration that she would have. But he's trapped in that. He's trapped in seeing his little girl that she's still 5 years old and not seeing her for who she is now.
Yeah.
So,
he hasn't moved forward for that.
Yeah, he hasn't moved forward. He's still holding on. He's still grasping, you know, the fact that, you know, thinks that she's 5 still. Yeah. And she's not.
I do that to my son when I drop him off at school still.
What do you do?
Just grab his, he's still, you know what I mean?
How old is he?
He's 12 now, but he winds the window up. All right, Dad, he gets out. And I want it down. And I love you, man. Yeah. You know, and he's looking at me with attitude. Like,
at least you can
he's got a smirk, though.
Yeah. At least you can still get away with it at that age. Yeah. Because
especially my son.
Deep down, he loves it.
Oh, he loves it. He hangs in the car for ages.
Yeah. He loves it.
I'm like, you got to get out now.
It might be a different story. It might be a different story when he turns 16, 17, 18.
Dude, I've got that to come, don't I?
Yeah.
His testosterone's kicking in. Well, he's starting to bulk up and a bit of attitude.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, you know, he's like
12.
Well, it's the start of it. Okay. Attitude, you know? Just in the lounge.
And what about your daughter, Bud? Like how she's sassy or?
No, she's fine. She's good. She's very placid. She's a good girl. Yeah. She's so sweet. No, she's going good. Yeah.
So is your son more outgoing?
Oh yeah, he doesn't stop. Okay. He's like me times 10.
It was the opposite for me. My
nuts.
son was quiet, kept to himself, never any trouble at school. No, I didn't have to worry about him. My daughter, on the other hand, but I knew it from when she was 5 years old. I was just like, shit, she's going to be trouble.
Is that your karma? Because my son's called karma. My dad calls him karma sometimes, you know. I think it's, But I like it. I learn more. There
was a 7-year gap between my son and my daughter.
Yeah.
And I was so resistant to having another child. So resistant. My son was so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll get the freaking opposite. I bet you any money. And sure enough.
You feed it. That's what you gave out to the universe. You didn't manifest. That stuff happens.
I manifested it. And she was the opposite. But interesting, like talking about kids, is that my daughter looks like her father through and through. My son looks like me.
Really?
Yeah. And so them growing up, it was just like it was me and my son and my daughter and her dad. Like that was the cliques, right?
Yeah.
But as they've become adults, my son is definitely like mentally, he's not like me.
Yeah.
He's actually like his father.
So you couldn't stop it.
Right? But my daughter, she's exactly like me.
Wow.
Yeah. Her mindset, the way she thinks. And it's just interesting
Did it
how
flip?
kind of
Well,
it flipped.
okay. Well, they do. Well, always got the mummy's boy, they call it. When the boys get older, they do tend to.
Yeah, but it was just the whole. I didn't see it when they were small. I mean, because I'm just looking, all right, he's like me, and
Daddy's a girl.
We're so close, and then my daughter looked like a father, and they were so close, but it wasn't until they became adults. When my son turned around, like he used to do yoga. He was reared in that environment, and the teachings. And then all of a sudden, as an adult, he's like, "Oh, that's woo-woo shit."
He's cut that cord.
And I'm just like,
cut that cord.
What? Where did this?
See your mum, number 2.
Yeah, yeah. Where did this come from?
Yeah,
That's woo-woo shit. I thought that you believed
He's
in
too
it.
cool for you now. He's too cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he do sports?
What's that?
Your son, does he do sports or just works?
No, just works. He's a workaholic. Yeah, it's all about making the money. See, that's his
Getting out
mindset.
of the
Me,
grind.
I'm just like, I don't think like that. I probably, I've had a poverty mind, consciousness for a long time because I was always like scraping, living my life, always struggling to make ends meet. But now, being in this place of abundance, it's still not about the money, it's about I just go and do what I love. Yeah. Do what I love. Be happy. I'm one of the blessed people, I think, on the planet that can say that I wake up every day, do exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
So many people are working and making the money and hating on life, hating their job.
A lot.
And it's such a huge chunk of your day, to be freaking stressed out.
How
8 hours a
many
day.
classes do you work?
I teach around about 38 classes a week.
38 classes a week. Wow, okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like work.
No, it's
I say that to people and they're just like, oh my God, there's
Run
so
the
many
best
classes.
job.
And I'm like, I have so much energy for it.
Met a lot of people, like you're saying.
So many people. One of my communities that I teach for, like, especially in Southwest Sydney, it's probably one of the largest communities. I can get 80, 100 people in a class.
Wow.
You go in the city, it's very normal, right? But out in Southwest, it's not, you don't have spaces that have that kind of capacity. So when I said about my studio closing and then being able to expand out, I now teach in all these places, and I'm connecting with more and more people.
Yeah.
Everything happening for a reason,
100%. And that's why even coming here today and doing this, this could set a path for you as well,
And I'm open to that, right? The path is unfolding. So it was like, say yes. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about. I don't know how this is going to go. Kind of glad it's not an interview process like podcast because...
No, I can't do interviews.
I can't do it.
I can't. I just can't. I can't do it.
And it's funny because me and my girlfriend, Tanya, we had the same conversation, right? That the podcast is about a conversation.
Yes.
Let's just see where it
That's it.
kind of goes
from there.
and just let it unfold.
Well,
Whatever it will be, and whoever it's supposed to reach, it will reach. That's, what I think.
And you got nothing to aim for. Just do it, and just take.
Say
that
yes.
path. Yes.
That's right.
Say yes.
Just say yes.
If it feels right, say yes. That's
And
good.
you don't know what kind of doors it's going to open.
Yeah. Where can people find you anyway? What's your Instagram?
Instagram is Vivienne_ yoga vibe.
Yoga Vibe.
Yeah. So that it used to be my studio, but I do have a website, so it's just viviennedias.com. Yeah, with all my offerings, and it's not just yoga and Pilates classes, but I run wellness retreats, luxury wellness retreats.
What's that women's wellness coming up? What's
Yeah,
that
in
about?
October. Yeah, so
What
we've got a
happens
women one. We had a one open to men in May, and now we've offered it just to women only because there were some requests.
Okay.
Is it women's only? And it's like, all right, predominantly women do sign up, so it's like, okay, let's just put it there so no men book in. And it's not to be discriminative or anything, but yeah,
No, it's good.
my community is, you know, predominantly women, so
Yeah.
give the people what they want. And so yeah,
Give
luxury
the people what they want.
yeah, luxury retreats, which we're offering reformer Pilates, yoga, saunas, cold plunge, what else? All the good stuff.
Cold plunges, really?
Yeah, cold plunge.
Where
yeah,
is
we
it?
do in Mudgee.
Ooh, can I come?
No, swimmers
I'll find my feminine side. I identify as a woman.
No, I know. I had messages from some other guys saying, well
that's
if
why
I identify as a woman,
I wore this for you tonight with pink or salmon because I'm
I don't know if it's a
it's a feminine,
dusky pink.
I want to be a bit feminine for you, you know, balance it out a bit.
And look at me, all in black.
I know, I didn't know you were that. Like the Matrix chick, like Trinity, eh?
Trinity. Oh yeah, I got my hair slicked as well.
Yeah.
I should have worn my leather pants.
Brought up like Catwoman. Nah, good. Oh, well, look. I think you should come here and start doing something for yourself too. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, speak to Nick.
Yeah, you speak to Nick later.
yeah.
Hey, Nicholas? Hey?
Making the contacts.
Oh, yeah. This is why I like doing this. It's not for just me. I just like talking and bringing people who I connect with, who help me through my journey. And I do. You're like one of the strongest women I've ever met.
Thank you.
Yeah, huge inspiration, you know.
Found out more about me.
I just have to have you back, don't I? Find more.
I know.
Hey?
Well, I mean, the intention is like, I mean, my girlfriend, she is an author, and she's actually writing her memoirs.
Yeah, that's one you're talking about. Tanya, is it?
Tanya, yeah. She's writing her memoir right now, and it looks like that's going to be the path for me as well, that I'm going to write a book.
It's happening.
People have been telling me for years, planted the seed a long time ago, write a book, Vivienne, write a book. And I'm just like,
I think you should.
what? But yeah.
Start with something like this first, maybe. With her.
Yeah, as I said, the path is unfolding and wherever it goes, but I can see it more clearly now. Not like 20 years ago when people were telling me, write a book. It was not even, I could not even see it. What? How am I going to do that? I don't even know where to friggin' start. But now I can see the connections that you make with people and the people that come into your life, and it's just like, okay, it's happening. I can see it there in the future.
Yeah, there's a reason why we met, you know.
Absolutely.
100%.
I always knew that.
Yeah,
I kind of questioned whether you knew it.
Yeah, I did question, but you know, I was in that stage as well.
I know.
Because when you're going through that healing stage, it's just you just want to black things out, or you don't. You just got to head down where you got to feel right, and then when now it feels right, and that's it. You know, it's all about timing, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why it was perfect. You know, it's on the back end of me coming from Uluru, being very grounded and centered, and I was just like, it's full moon today. You know, which is amazing. I tend to share a lot of deep personal stuff when it's a full moon.
Here we are.
Yeah, and here we are. Just like perfect timing.
Oh, good. All right.
So,
Well,
thank you.
hopefully
You know, it's been an honour.
It's been an honour for me.
An honour for me to be invited here,
Yeah,
and thank you
I'm so
so
happy
much.
you
I'm so
come.
grateful.
Man,
Grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you. All right. Thank you.